Bronzefield Prison is located in Surrey. It's a young offender and adult female prison. It's a private prison and the largest female prison in Europe. Today we'll be looking at the most notorious current and former female prisoners that served their time at Bronzefield. 1. Rose West. Alongside her husband, Fred West, they took the lives of at least 9 young women between 1973 and 1987. Rose was found guilty of 10 murders, 1 murder including that of her stepdaughter, Charmaine West. She was given life imprisonment. She first served her time at Bronzefield Prison, but then was moved to Low Newton Prison, where she was on the same wing as fellow serial killer Myra Hindley. In 2019, she was transferred to Newhall Prison, and that's where she remains. 2. Jane Andrews. Jane Andrews was a royal dresser for Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York. In September 2000, Jane Andrews and her boyfriend, Thomas Cressman, went on holiday to Italy, where she assumed her boyfriend would propose to her, but instead he told her he had no intentions of marrying her. By the 17th of September, they had returned home to their flat in London. They had a heated argument. Thomas Cressman called the police to say that somebody is going to get hurt, but no police came to the flat. While Thomas was sleeping, later that night, Jane Andrews hit him with a cricket bat and attacked him with a knife, taking his life. Shortly after taking Thomas Cressman's life, Jane Andrews fled. She contacted her ex-husband and sent out text messages to friends inquiring about where Thomas was. She proclaimed she had no involvement in his death and he was being blackmailed. She went AWOL for 4 days until police in Cornwall found her OD'd in her car, but she survived. After the police interviewed her, Andrews was arrested and charged with Thomas Cressman's murder. At her trial, she talked about her relationship with Cressman being abusive, and that was the reason she took his life. She was sentenced to life in prison. She served most of her time at Bronzefield Prison, but was then moved to Southport Prison in Kent, where she escaped. She was found 3 days later in a hotel room with her family. She was not charged with anything for this. She appealed plenty of times for an earlier release, but they were denied as she was still considered a danger to the public. But on the 19th of June 2015, she was released on licence. In 2018, she was accused of harassing an ex-boyfriend. Her licence was revoked and she was recalled to prison. The police investigation found no evidence of the harassment and she was re-released from prison on the 8th of August 2019. 3. Karen Matthews. On the 19th of February 2008, Karen Matthews reported her 9-year-old daughter Shannon missing in West Yorkshire. The search for Shannon was massive. The police questioned 1,500 motorists and searched 3,000 houses. By the March, 250 officers and 60 detectives were involved in the investigation. That's about 10% of West Yorkshire's police force. It was the front page of every newspaper in the UK, many of them offering huge awards for finding Shannon. On the 14th of March 2008, 24 days after she went missing, the police found her alive. Shannon was concealed in a bed in a flat owned by Michael Donovan. The police soon learnt that Shannon's kidnapping was planned by her own mum, Karen, and Donovan. This was to generate money from the publicity. On the 8th of April 2008, Donovan was charged with kidnapping. Karen was charged with child neglect and perverting the course of justice. They were both given 8 years. Matthews served half her sentence in Bronzefield Prison and was released in April 2012. Donovan had already been released. She reportedly has now become a born-again Christian. 4. Roshanara Chaudhry. On the 14th of May 2010, Labour MP Stephen Timms was stabbed. She said she attempted to kill him because he voted yes for the Iraq War. She told the police that she was heavily influenced by things she had watched on YouTube. Because of this, YouTube removed a lot of the named content. She was found guilty of attempted murder with a recommendation that she served a minimum term of 15 years. After her sentence was announced, a group of men in the public gallery began shouting Allahu Akbar and British go to hell. A small demonstration also took place outside of the court. She remains serving her time at Bronzefield prison. 5. Nicola Edgington. On the 4th of November 2005, Nicola Edgington stabbed her 60-year-old mother, Marion, and took her life. She was convicted of manslaughter due to diminished responsibility, as she had been diagnosed with schizophrenia and emotionally unstable personality traits. She received treatment and psychiatric evaluation and was released in September 2009. She moved to a flat in Greenwich. In September 2011, Edgington sent a message to her brother and did not get a good response. She went to find help at the Universal Church of the Kingdom of God, which is the same place she sought help before taking her mother's life. On 3 separate occasions, in the first 2 weeks of October, she contacted the police several times, by phone and once in person, reporting that people were making death threats against her. She then reported that 2 drug users were refusing to leave her flat. Her calls were graded as serious and requiring police attendance, but no police were dispatched to investigate. On the 10th of October 2011, she rang the police and local mental health services to physically detain her under their legal powers. She felt that she was having another psychotic breakdown. She told them she had killed someone before and that the more scared she became, the more dangerous she could be. The police dropped her off at the hospital and left before she was even securely admitted. The psychiatric staff decided they were only going to admit her on a voluntary basis, even though she had a high-risk profile, and there was a care plan in place in her psychiatric file. On the same day, she left the hospital through a door that should have been locked while she was waiting to be admitted. She took 2 buses and then went into Asda and bought a knife. She tried to attack 22-year-old Kerry Clark. She survived and a member of the public took the knife of her. She then stole a knife from a butcher's shop and attacked 58-year-old Sally Hodkin, who unfortunately passed away from her injuries. She was arrested shortly after, and on the 4th of March 2013, she was charged with the attempted murder of Kerry Clark and the murder of Sally Hodkin. She was given a min tariff of 37 years. She still remains serving her time in Bronzefield prison today. 6. Sophia Amira Sheikh, formerly Michelle Ramsden, was convicted of plotting to bomb St Paul's Cathedral in London. She's thought to be the first solo female ISIL bomb plotter ever in the UK. She was given a life sentence with a non-parole period of 14 years. She serves her sentence at Bronzefield prison. 7. Jennifer Johnson. Jennifer Johnson was the girlfriend of Russell Bishop, who was responsible for the Babes in the Wood murders in Brighton that he committed in 1986. He took the lives of Nicola Fellows and Karen Hadaway. In May 2021, she went on trial for perjury and perverting the course of justice. Bishop was acquitted of the murders of Karen Hadaway and Nicola Fellows in 1987 after Jennifer Johnson lied on oath to protect him. She admitted lying at her boyfriend Russell Bishop's first trial because he was violent, but the jury found her guilty of perjury and perverting the course of justice. She was handed a 6-year prison sentence to serve at Bronzefield prison, where she remains today. Russell Bishop was found guilty of the murders in a second trial on the 10th of December 2018. He died at the age of 55 in Franklin Prison, on the 20th of January 2022. Thanks for watching. Until next time.